Hello, and welcome to Zero to Something, a place where we talk about founders' journeys, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. Today's episode will be a little different. It's more of a guide to planning in particular. That has been a big point of improvement for us in our startup journey and our management of the company. Hope you enjoy that. And honestly, startup planning is like trying to choreograph a ballet on a minefield. You need grace and vision and full awareness that something is about to explode. Yes, you can be agile. Yes, your plans will change, but having a plan is still better than not having one in this situation. This isn't about perfection. It's about protecting your time and your team's sanity. Chaos is inevitable. Unprepared chaos is just irresponsible. So let's talk about why planning is so important. The thing is, it isn't about follow the plan no matter what thing. It's having a general direction. It helps you and your co-founder, if you have one, align on the vision. Otherwise, you're building two different castles on the same piece of land. And it gives your team a sense of predictability and life outside of work, really. It protects you from feature creep and burnout and those 2 a.m. Wait, what were we supposed to build? Being agile doesn't mean wing it until you crash. Your roadmap will change, but that's even more reason to have a framework. Planning gives you kind of a skeleton, a base, if you will. And some founders, by staying agile, often mean just not committing to anything at all. So now I'd like to walk you through how we plan in our company. It took a lot of trial and error and redefining the processes to reach to the place where we're now. It's not a perfect frame just yet, but it's a good one. So step one is the big dump. We sit down as a full team. Yes, even the backend developers who speak in binary. And our company is small, so that makes sense for us at the moment. So we sit down and we list every single feature idea. Ours, the clients have been asking anything weird and fun that we want to have in the product one day. No filter here. Is just a whole mess before it starts taking shape. The second one, we take away our creativity hat and we start prioritizing like adults. We pick top 5 priorities for the quarter. The criteria we use, well, number one, it's always most requested by multiple clients. So if 5, 7, 10 people who are clients or potential clients tell us they need this one particular feature, you sure as hell know that this is going to go into our quarter plan. Then there is biggest product impact. Number 3 is, well, we'll cry long and hard if we don't get this built soon. You need to be honest about the trade-offs. You know you can't get everything done. You need to allocate your resources. Backup cleanup can potentially wait if no one sees it but your server. Then, step 3. We do sprints every 2 weeks. Every sprint planning goes the same. We have it scheduled in our calendars. It's a non-negotiable. It's always there. We start by reflecting on the previous sprint. What worked? What flopped? What mysteriously vanished from Jira? And that reflection part has multiple components. First, we look at the tasks in Jira to see which tasks are complete, which ones are not, where we stand, what will go into the next sprint. Then we look at the velocity graphs. And that's my co-founder's favorite part of reflection. He is very much a numbers and math person. So to him, graphs is the thing that matters for his understanding of how well the sprint went. Then we do a little Figma feedback ritual kind of thing. So we have our tiny workspaces for every single person in Figma when nobody else would look into it. So you sit down, you write what worked, what didn't work. And then after a couple minutes of doing that in silence, we then discuss it and explain our points. Then we come to the next sprint planning. So firstly, we obviously carry over the unfinished tasks because, let's be real, it's impossible to finish all the tasks you plan in your sprint. Then we add urgent fixes, maybe like bug fixes that we found or a feature that a client really wants and we really want to give it to them. And then we add new sprint tasks from those quarterly goals that we have. Here, I think it's important to note that the point allocation system is incredibly important. You need to assign points per task based on who is doing it and not wishful thinking. How much time is it going to take this person? Track actual sprint velocity over time. Some sprints are just 30-point sprints because there is life, illness, burnout, traveling. Things happen. Accept that sometimes that's okay and rest isn't laziness. And then we come to personal planning. And here it will be different for different people. For me, whatever is not in my calendar is just not happening meetings wise. And to be honest, it's both personal and work related. And whatever is not in my to-do app is also not happening. Again, personal and work related. The app I use is TickTick, but I know some people use Todoist, Notion. You choose your system that works best for you. Some people also do great with blocking out times in their actual calendar, right? For example, just blocking out 2 hours in the day of writing investor emails instead of putting it in their to-do list. For some people, it works and it's great. For me, it doesn't. I like a little more flexibility in the day, but regardless, you can also block out time for rest and recuperation. And as I said, creating that type of planning idea was a trial and error system. And here are a couple mistakes that we made that were very, very difficult for us. One, including client projects in the sprint before they're signed. Big mistake. Because there is nothing assigned, they might disappear. You can hear the whole story in my video about toxic people. And then it means we didn't start doing those tasks, but it means they took up valuable space in the planning and we had to replan things. Then there's backlog amnesia. We have one. We never look at our backlog. And tasks, they just live there permanently. And that's something we're planning to fix, but haven't actually gone there just yet. The next one is more of I heard it from other people, but it's not something that we struggled with. So some companies are planning mostly short term and it's great. You can get a lot of things done. And if you have the general direction, but still planning only short term, what you're robbing yourself of is joy. Because me and my co-founder, every now and then we get together and we just talk about the way our product can look and the way we want it to look, right? The perfect product in our opinion. And then the time goes by and now we look at our product and we start seeing some of these features that only 6 months ago we were just including into the perfect product thing. And it just makes you so happy because there is something that was just in your head, something you dreamt up. It's there, it's real, and it's very exciting. Another pitfall that some companies might fall into is over planning to feel in control. And you're not in control. The startup is basically a crazy machine going into all the different directions all at once. You still need to plan, but it's a delusion thinking that you can keep to that plan 100%. So what does good planning look like? Generally, it's vision combined with flexibility. You dream big and then you break it down. Feedback loops, incredibly important. Sprint reviews aren't just for fun. Use them, get feedback. Then there is alignment across teams. Good planning helps everyone know what they're doing and why and what the expectations are. And it's important to estimate time correctly. Stop pretending that your devs are robots with no sleep schedule and no needs of holidays. Important to reflect, not just what you did, but also how it felt. There was a moment when we didn't have this planning system in place and it was more just kind of playing it by ear. And sometimes it meant work at the weekends and late night work because we forgot something or missed something and we didn't plan ahead. So now for us, planning is about protecting our time from chaos, from resentment, from burnout. You don't have to choose between agility and sanity. And you can have both if you're willing to iterate on your planning like you do your product. Generally, planning is not a promise. It's more of a practice. You'll mess it up and redo it and throw it out and start again. But planning gives shape to the chaos that is your startup. It gives your team dignity, your product a future, and your vision a shot of becoming real and not just up here. It's not about controlling everything. It's just about going with the flow, but knowing which direction that flow is going to bring you. And as always, I leave you with the reflection questions. Question 1. Where am I over planning to feel in control? And where am I under planning because I'm scared to commit? And question 2. If I zoomed out to 6 months from now, what does success look and feel like? And what needs to happen this sprint to get one step closer? Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.